Country's Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is one of the more vocal leaders of the Republican Party. While on Capitol Hill, she serves in House leadership.
She's also expecting her first child this fall. How will that impact her role representing New York's 21st District? Darren Perrin asked Plattsburgh State political scientist Harvey Shantz.
So how does this work? If someone is on maternity leave, do they vote remotely like we saw during the pandemic?
In the U.S. House of Representatives, a vote is taken typically on the floor of the House. And so a member has a card and votes at the voting stations that they have in the House. Sometimes they have a voice vote, which is an out loud vote. But because of the pandemic, they started something new in the U.S. House of Representatives, and that's called proxy voting. So typically how this has worked is people who are younger were voting for people who were older and wanted to shield themselves better from COVID.
So she would still then be able to vote using this proxy method put in place because of COVID?
Yes. Elise Stefanik will benefit directly from two changes that took place in Congress because of COVID. The first is radically new, and that's the idea that members of Congress can vote without actually being on the floor of the House. How this works is proxy voting, where members tell their colleague how they would vote on a bill, and the colleague then announces that to the full House. The second development in Congress, which is not entirely new, which really took off because of COVID, is remote committee hearings and remote committee meetings. As someone who wants to be scarce after having a child and also in the short run-up before, these two developments, proxy voting and remote committee meetings, really help someone who is not up to full-time engagement on the floor of the House or in the office buildings and in the committee meetings do their job. The people in New York 21 will benefit while she's not at full energy on her job by a congressional staff. The staff still work to help the district with their district needs. As far as politics is concerned, Elise Stefanik benefits also from newer advancements. She can get her message out through Twitter.
Now, in terms of leadership, will her absence, though, physical absence on Capitol Hill, hurt her role in the Republican Party? There seems to be, two Republican factions in the party, the Elise Stefaniks and the Liz Cheneys, for example.
At the personal level, there's always talking and backstabbing and coalition formation among members of the party. But it really shouldn't interrupt Stefanik's standing within the party. Many years ago, there was a congresswoman who I've studied for many years, Kathy McMorris Rogers. And she has the same position that Elise Stefanik has now, which is the conference chair of the Republican Party. And while she had that position, she gave birth to 3 children. And she kept that position. Also, Kirsten Gillibrand, the U.S. Senator from New York State, in her first term of office, representing a district in nearby Essex County and along the Vermont border, also had a child, a son who was born during her first term in office. So when Gillibrand got elected in 2006, in her first term, she had a child. And then when she was reelected in 2008, her margin of victory grew much higher.
Harvey Shantz, thank you. Be well.
Thank you.